Hello, and welcome to another First Chapter Friday. I'm excited about this book. I think you're going to love it. This is more of an upper elementary book. It's called The Swag is in the Socks. Put your best foot forward. This author, Kelly Baptiste, is phenomenal. I recently read also Isaiah Dunn is My Hero. I think you'll enjoy that one too. But I'm going to share chapter 1 with you of The Swag is in the Socks. I actually love this quote, this poem, this creed she put in the front. I could almost stop here and just let's say read it and find out why it's there, but I'm going to share a little bit more. Some of chapter 1 too, but check this out. I think you'll like it. Scepter League Creed. I am a young man of purpose, a descendant of kings. As a member of this illustrious Scepter League, I am disciplined, courageous, and confident. I will carry myself with dignity and honor in all situations. I will respect myself, my family, my school, and my community. I will be academically excellent, physically fit, and socially responsible. I will be a man who lights the way for others. Ooh, I like that. You know the rest of the book's going to be great. Chapter 1. There's nothing too spectacular about you. Well, jack my phone and call me Jill. That fool done it again. Aunt Cat shuffles into the living room and lowers herself into her special peach-colored easy chair, a piece of paper in her hand and a frown on her face. She tosses her paper onto the coffee table in front of her. Me and my sister Shannon call it the Obama table, since Aunt Cat's got practically every magazine he was ever on the cover of. Shannon's in the kitchen, chopping the life out of something, and she calls over, "What's wrong, Aunt Cat?" Aunt Cat shakes her head. The corners of her mouth turn down like she just smelled one of my power farts. "Can't even speak on it, girl," she says at first, which only means she's going to speak on it in 5, 4, 3, 2. "But that fool brother of mine done took off again to God knows where." "You think he's okay?" Shannon asks. Pfft. Aunt Cat makes a loud noise with her lips. "Who gonna know that? For all I know, he's somewhere slumped over a piano having a heart attack, while some used-to-be singer tries to hold on to her note and her wig." I bust out laughing. Before I can stop myself, I shut my mouth real quick and try to go back to being invisible on the couch, praying Aunt Cat don't look my way and tell me my 10 minutes on the Nintendo Switch are up. I know, right? Who gives a 10-minute video game limit? Aunt Cat. Luckily, she's too upset about her brother leaving to pay any attention to me. She mutters about how ungrateful he is and who's going to pay his part of the bills here at the house now that he's gone. Not going to lie. Frankie Bell always gets the good groceries when he's home. It's really not a shocker, but Aunt Cat's acting like this has never happened before. To be honest, this happens almost every month. Her brother, my great-uncle, Frankie Bell, is a musician, a piano player. And according to him, he's been playing since birth and traveling as much as he can with this group called the Bel Airs. "I started off strumming the umbilical cord," Frankie tells everybody who asks, "but when I got out of that womb prison, it was all about the keys." Frankie Bell's been in bands since he was 15, and he says he'll be in one till they're playing for his funeral. Aunt Cat, who's technically my great-aunt, was the oldest of 6 kids, and all that's left in her and Frankie Bell the youngest. My grandfather, who was next in line after Aunt Cat, died when I was 3. All I remember about him is the smell of Vicks vapor rub and cigar smoke. So Frankie Bell, which is what everybody calls him, is the closest thing to a grandfather I got. He's cool, but kind of weird. Aunt Cat says he's 10 steps past crazy, whatever that means. "You watch," Aunt Cat says, pointing at his letter. "Whenever he goes on the road for a long time, he starts sending letters that don't make a lick of sense. He picks some poor soul to torment with his secret instructions and whatnot, like he's the wisest man to draw a breath. Messes with their minds so much, they start thinking they the ones losing it." Aunt Cat cusses, and Shannon looks up all shocked. "Ooh, Aunt Cat," she says, but I can tell she's trying not to laugh. I am too. I keep it in this time. I'm sorry, baby, but what's what Frankie Bell is full of? Shannon opens the oven, and a whoosh of good smells floats out. How long before we can eat? Aunt Cat asks, noticing the smell too. About 15 minutes, Shannon says. She picks up her cell phone and sends a text. I bet anything it's to Julian. She claims Ju's her friend, but we all know the better. Aunt Cat hates him. Thinks he's too old for Shannon because he's 18 and she just turned 16. I don't think it's that big of a deal, especially since Ju's one of them dudes who's got everything going for him. Star quarterback. Girls are obsessed with him, and he's smart. He says he's going to be an anesthesiologist. But even that doesn't win Aunt Cat over. She says he could be the next Black Jesus, but something about him don't sit right with her. It's probably his teeth, which to me are his only flaw. Two on the bottom are kind of crooked, like they're trying to high-five each other. This obviously doesn't bother Shannon, but teeth are definitely a thing for Aunt Cat. Crooked teeth, crooked feet, whatever that means, is what she told me when she forced me to get braces a year ago. The best thing about Ju is that he's in the Scepter League, which is a huge deal. It's this club that was started at Rosewood Public Schools like 100 years ago. You gotta have super swag to get in, and if you do, you become kind of famous around the city. At my school, dudes in the Scepter League are like kings. Once a month, they wear their blazers and ties and get to skip the line at lunch and miss last hour to have important meetings in the library with teachers and the principal. Sometimes they even go over to the high school to link with the leaguers there. They get a section reserved for them in the gym during basketball games, and Rosewood games always be sold out. Once they're old enough to get jobs, Scepter Leaguers work at the rec center or the bank or at the stadium downtown, never at some greasy fast food place. And the girls, man, if you're in the Scepter League, it's pretty much a guarantee they notice you. My number goals for 7th grade? Get in. Xavier, you still on that game machine? Aunt Cat asks, not even looking at me. Dang, I thought she was all into this judge show she just turned on. Guess not. No, I say, turning a switch off. Good. That mess is rotting your brain, one cell at a time, she says. Why somebody would willingly buy that, I do not know. I swallow hard and slide the switch into my pocket. I love Aunt Cat, but sometimes she goes too far. My dad gave me the switch before he got locked up, and no matter how she feels about it, it's special. I walk to the kitchen to peek at the birthday cake that's chilling on the counter. Double chocolate, just like I asked, with Happy 12th Birthday Xavier written across the top in fancy green cursive. I open the freezer. Pistachio ice cream? Check. Get out the kitchen, Xavier, it's almost ready, fusses Shannon. She always gets moody when Ju takes too long to respond to her text. I slide my finger across the cake for a nice taste of the icing. Shannon's too busy staring at her phone to notice. I told her I just want pizza, but no, she had to go all fancy, said a birthday dinner can't just be some pizza. It smells so good in here. I almost agree with her. Only problem is, it took like all afternoon to make, and I'm starving. Pizza's much quicker. I'm just saying. Shannon's been into food since before she was tall enough to see over the stove. I'm the one who has to try all her creations, and she still hogs the TV, watching Food Network. Guess I can't complain too much, though, 'cause my B-Day dinner is Cajun chicken linguine, and add in some sauteed asparagus with Shannon's signature lemon butter sauce, a salad, homemade garlic bread, and I got a 5-star meal. Okay, let's just eat, Shannon says a few minutes later. Guess Ju hasn't called or texted, 'cause she looks like she wants to smack somebody. About time, Aunt Kay mutters, pulling herself up from her easy chair. Boy gonna be 13 by the time we sit down. Shannon got the table set all fancy, no paper plates, and in the middle is a pitcher of my all-time favorite drink, strawberry lemonade mixed with cherry 7-Up. Yo, I won't say this out loud, but I got a pretty good sis. Aunt Cat, you gonna pray for the food? Shannon asks, which is the joke we have. And get struck down before I can eat? No, Aunt Cat says. Me and Shannon grin, and Shannon blesses the food. She barely says amen when we hear footsteps on the porch and 3 quick knocks. Julian. Yo, so sorry I'm late, everybody, he says with a crooked tooth grin. He goes to side hug Aunt Cat, and she has a stank look on her face the whole time. Huh. Happy birthday, bro, Ju tells me, giving me a dap, and dropping a $10 Taco Bell gift card on the table by my plate. Thanks, I say, kind of shocked that he actually got me something. And to find out what else happens, you'll have to read the book. The swag is in the socks. Highly recommend it.